Honorable Men Discord. A man was arrested for attempted rape in Orange County. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, leave a comment in the comment section. So let's get straight to it. This is a courtesy of Channel 2 News, and this is an incident about a woman who was attacked whilst running on a trail alone early in the morning, and she was followed by the gentleman you see beside me with the braids. But let's watch the news report, and then we'll get back to it right after.
Tonight, this 23-year-old man is in jail accused of trying to rape and strangle a woman on a trail in Orange County. This happened in July on the Little Econ Greenway.
The woman attacked from behind near Yates Road. She was able to escape, though. West News' Gail Pascal Brown is live outside of the sheriff's office tonight. And Gail, this was obviously a scary situation for a lot of people who run on that trail every day.
No doubt. Working on a tip, looking at surveillance video, and talking to witnesses, the Sheriff's Department Sex Crimes Unit was able to make an arrest. He is 23-year-old Jacoby Tillman. He is charged with attempted sexual battery, battery by strangulation, and false imprisonment. Now, he was arrested today and taken to the Orange County Jail. Orange County Sheriff's investigators say Jacoby Tillman attacked a woman from behind while she was running on the Little Econ Greenway near Yates Road on July 25th of this year. Runners and walkers we spoke to say you have to be careful.
Anything can happen at any time. So it's always good to walk with a partner, walk with a friend.
The victim said she went for a run alone around 8 a.m. She said once she got halfway through the run and returned to her car, she noticed an unknown man behind her. Moments later, she said he grabbed her and wrapped both arms around her neck, choking her, causing her to see stars. The report says she blacked out, and when the victim woke up, she was still face down and realized that her shorts and underwear were not on anymore. Detectives also looked at some video surveillance time-stamped around 9:05 of a man described by one of the witnesses throwing the victim's clothes over this fence at this Winter Park Auto Exchange business. Here, the suspect is seen going in and outside of a building wearing a white tank top, blue shorts, and black slides.
When we walk, we don't have nothing in our ears to watch each other's back in case one goes to the restroom. You know, you always have your ears open, just in case anybody tries to sneak up behind you.
According to the arrest report, investigators spoke with Jacoby Tillman's girlfriend, who he lived with, and she asked him what really happened. He said, "I didn't rape the lady. I was trying to kill the lady." She asked him why, and he said, "Because I wanted to know what it was like to choke someone out." She said this was not a surprise to her because a few weeks earlier, she and Jacoby got into an altercation where he choked her to the point where she passed out. Now, the arrest report also says that the girlfriend got a text message today by mistake from Tillman's mother telling him to get a boarding pass from Delta Airlines to catch a flight tomorrow to Texas. Tillman is in the Orange County Jail. Covering Orange County, live in Orlando, I'm Gail Pascal Brown, West 2 News.
All right, so there's several things I want to talk about with this report. First and foremost, as a New Yorker, when I was coming up before I became a teenager, it was just a known thing that primarily women joggers in Central Park was not a thing that they should take lightly. So, like, again, before I was a teenager, joggers in Central Park in particular, it was a thing that it wasn't safe to jog in Central Park alone, because there were many women that would oftentimes early morning hours go for jogs by themselves, and it was considered dangerous. Now, as an adult, I don't think the emphasis on not jogging alone in Central Park is still there, but I think it's commonplace that if you're going to jog early in the morning, you should stay in the areas where other joggers are jogging, and not these trails where there's hardly anyone there, right? But just as a general rule of thumb, gentlemen, your girlfriends, your daughters, your wives, I would not advise them jogging alone. And if they're gonna jog alone, I would advise that you tell them to take it to the streets and at least jog along the road where the cars are. And even then, it's still dangerous because this is the day and age where people could pull up to your loved one and basically kidnap them. And if you think that these things are not possible in your particular area where you live, I would never underestimate the possibility of something like that happen. It's like, why even test the waters for something like this happening? And one of the things that the guy mentioned in the news report that I also agree with is that I know I used to jog in the streets, and I would have the music blaring in my ears. You should make sure that if you're listening to music, one of your ears are free to hear anything, so you could hear stuff going on around you. I know it's not the ideal way of enjoying your music, but your safety comes before the music. All right, before your enjoyment of the music, your safety comes first. So if you're a jogger out there and you're watching this episode, just keep in mind that you have to be aware of traffic and the people around you, your surroundings. So in this situation, it was said that she went out for a jog at 8 o'clock in the morning. But again, if you can find a jogging partner, or just choose a different area, jog in your community, make rounds, make laps in your community where you're close to home, if that's possible, right? As opposed to going to a public park that's going to have areas where no one's around and you put yourself at risk for situations like this. This is just one of those things where, luckily for her, she wasn't killed, because he's claiming to his girlfriend that he was trying to kill her, which I call a lie on that one, because why'd you take her pants off and discard of her pants? Why'd you take her pants off? And this is the segue into what else I want to speak about, is those women that are choosing to date guys like this. All right. So for the girlfriend to admit that at one point he did, I think, choke her or something like that, and even for her to hear his explanation, saying, "Oh, he was just trying to see if he could kill her. He wasn't trying to rape her." I mean, it's bizarre to me that some women get involved with guys like this. That's like a whole nother story. Why women choose guys like this, for the life of me, I'll never understand it, and I'm honestly not putting time into trying to understand it. It's just crazy to me. Where are their fathers, these women? Who are the men in their lives that make them choose the type of men that they choose? That's just my thought on that as far as the girlfriend is concerned. Because if you're asking your boyfriend, why'd you do this to that woman, and he's lying to you, talking about he was just trying to see if he can kill her, again, why'd he take her pants off? And clearly she's staying with him. I mean, he's in custody now, but clearly she's staying with him. I think that in itself is bizarre. But the main thing to take away from this episode, for you gentlemen watching this episode, again, your girlfriend, your wives, your daughters, your sisters, it could be a colleague. Advise them not to jog in these areas alone. I know fitness is something that I'm all for, and by all means, go out there and live a healthy lifestyle. Go out there and exercise, but be safe whilst doing so, because remember, this is 2025, and if you're not watching the news, maybe off and on you should watch the news, not to scare you, but to keep you aware of how society is moving. All right, you shouldn't just be out there just thinking everything is safe and everything is you might be looking at it like, oh, that's in that area, that doesn't happen here. You shouldn't think of things that way, because unfortunately we live in a time where there is violent people out there. There are people that, in my opinion, are possessed. There are people that have mental illnesses that we are not aware of, and for that reason we always should be on point as much as we can be. But that's my take on all of this. I would just advise anyone that I know that likes to do those solo jogs to stay within their community. If they want to do early morning jogs, stay within your community, do laps, and even that can be dangerous. But again, make sure if you're listening to music, have one ear free to hear your surroundings, right? Don't have both headphones on and then you're not able to hear if something's going on around you. You have to be aware. Better yet, don't even wear headphones. Just go out for a jog with no music. Just jog for the fact that you're doing it for exercise, but don't be distracted by the music. You need to be aware of what's going on around you. But that's my thoughts on this. What's your thoughts? And as always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And by all means, if you have something to share, I'll see you in the comment section. And as always, stay honorable.